Let me explain something. The reason why a narrative is gripping is because it represents something that is true, something that is real. It speaks to the nature of reality itself. This is why Game of Thrones is so popular. This is why Star Wars, especially the original Star Wars, the story is so popular with Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, right, the father, the son. This is the reason why even Marvel, to an extent, and I'm referring again to the earlier movies before it was corrupted, why these narratives become so popular. They speak to us. And it enrages these radical feminists who hate reality, who are riddled with resentment, who constantly see, oh my gosh, a masculine man is being represented as being a hero, and he's inspiring young men to reject my idiocy and stupidity. And then they become resentful and they want to destroy it. They don't have their own narratives because the stories that they tell themselves about reality are broken, they're perverse, they're wrong. And this is a failing of postmodern philosophy, where they say there is no such thing as better and worse narratives. In a very sophisticated sense, that is exactly what they're saying. There's no way to distinguish between a better and worse analysis. There's no such thing as moral right and wrong. And that is an error. That's an error intellectually, and it is also an observational error about reality. Jordan Peterson said this years ago, but if you think that you can pick up a glass with the front of your hand, you will be able to pick up the glass. But if you think that you can pick up the glass with the back of your hand, you will try for the rest of your life and fail. There's an infinite number of ways of viewing the world, but not all are equally valid. These fat, overweight, obese, vaccinated, for sure, feminists resent that. They're enraged by that because the coherent architecture of the narratives that people love in Star Wars, what made it great, judges their inadequacy, judges the delusion of the narratives that they wish were true. They want the modern narratives to reflect Marxism, to reflect the woke mind virus. That's the reason why so many popular stories have become corrupted and destroyed, and why every new TV show is woke and degenerate. It's the reason why Reacher instantly goes to #1 on Netflix, a mediocre action series about a masculine man. There's nothing else to watch, so all of the men just watch it, and then everyone's like, how is Reacher #1 on Amazon Prime? Because everything else is so destroyed. A simple hero narrative is such a breath of fresh air because these people are freaks and riddled with resentment. And look at the background. Women in the world. Oh my gosh, we're so oppressed. We have to destroy
What is
Star
the
Wars.
balance of...
Okay, a man stooping low, asking questions like this, hunched over, as if he's praying. Oh, we have women of color too, for sure. This has got to be good, and they're feminists.
activating a force for change,
A force for change. We are by default the good people.
but also
Marxism is good, and they're all examining every single word he says, hoping that he'll step out of line so that they can feel a glimmer of virtue, a glimmer of status at the hands of being oppressed. Oh my gosh, oppression. It's disgusting.
trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure. And is that a part of the calculation of your art?
So disgusting. Who do you think cares about Star Wars? Dude, men. This isn't the Barbie movie, bro. Star Wars franchise is built on resonating with men. I mean, just look at the original movies. It's all hero stories resonate with men because that's what we're called to be.
And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable.
This is mental illness. This is mental illness. This is a deep scourge of the woke mind virus. Think about the fact that Disney, a multi-billion-dollar company, is willing to throw away their #1 property at the hands of someone who is thoroughly ideologically possessed by Marxism. There is no merit to what she just said. Also, this is so demeaning to women because if you look at this is a stage that's covered in the logo, women in the world, as if women's place in the world is to pervert, corrupt, and turn coherence and beauty into a laughingstock. That's what they've done with Ahsoka. I didn't even finish watching Ahsoka. That's what they did with The Mandalorian. That's what they did with every single other property, is they destroyed it. It's not resonant. The reason why their stories aren't resonant is because they're trying to represent an incoherent ideology, an ideology that is actually wrong. Their worldviews of everything being socially constructed and men and women being psychologically and physically the same, biology being fake, it's actually literally incorrect. It's scientifically, verifiably, objectively false. And so this is so demeaning to women that somehow this is to be pedestalized, that women's place is to make a joke of themselves. Degenerate, pathetic women like this trying to act competent is like a gay man trying to act feminine. Women will never look at a gay man as a fellow woman, and high-performance men who were genetically born into the environment of having to compete with meritocracy and coherence and logic and reason look at these women as an absolute joke. And so it's demeaning to women to pedestalize incoherence in this way, and it's actually sad.
Not you, just
Not you.
not you.
Oh my God! Yes, let's clap. Oh my gosh, we have to demonize men. The consumers of our product, but we're strong, independent boss queens and boss babes, so we don't care about math and revenue. That's the boys' club. We were gonna run this business, by the way. It's so demeaning to these women when you realize that men built up the company into a multi-billion-dollar industry and then said, "Here you go. You can run this massive empire of a multi-billion-dollar company that you are not even close to equipped to handle." And then the inevitable outcome is they destroy it. They destroy all their recent properties with woke garbage, with woke mind virus propaganda. And then everyone judges them for failing, and they get triggered. They tell themselves they're the victim because, oh my gosh, people aren't buying tickets. People aren't resonating. This is discrimination. This is bigotry. They don't like it when I make a 90-pound woman touch a man with her fist and he flips over. They don't find that resonant. This is discrimination. And then due to Marxist ideology, they tell themselves that they have virtue as a result of being the victims, that they have merit as a result of being oppressed by objective reality. I got a gender studies degree. I know how to run a company. I'm $45,000 in debt.
Point taken. Point taken.
But
This is a Matrix slave, by the way, just another late night show talk host Matrix slave.
you know, it is important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that, I am working.
This is something that they actually try to do. They try to bully people. They try to be tyrants. And the reason for that is because they don't have validity to their ideas. They try to make people uncomfortable. They try to make people kowtow. And they get this result that they're talking about when they encounter simp men, weak men, low testosterone men that just go along with feminist ideology. Oh yes, I can't make decisions. Yeah, the woman should be the leader of the household. Her emotions are what matters here, by the way. Weak men are also responsible for women like this because men are supposed to be the apparatus for which degenerate, emotionally unstable women interface with reality. It's the tether that those women have to reality. And there's clearly no competent man in this woman's life to tether her to reality. That's why she's making a fool of herself.
To bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable.
It should make you uncomfortable. We want you to watch stories that aren't resonant. We want to deliver narratives that don't represent anything besides our dogmatic view of Marxism. Star Wars was built on men being heroes in the most sophisticated, imaginative, creative narrative sense. That's the reason why it became popular. And guys, if you're like a weak, pathetic man and you're watching this, or you're a woman and doesn't understand, let me explain something to you. Men, when we're watching these, pieces of propaganda that you put into TV shows, we're judging you harshly. It's not like we're going along with it. Me and my dad were watching it must have been the Kenobi series, where this woman infiltrated a Empire base, and then she encountered stormtroopers, and then there was a fight scene, right? And she brushed one of the stormtroopers with her hand, and he just went flying, and then she punched the other, and he just fell over. And me and my dad snorted at the same time, just started laughing, because it's so obviously incoherent. We don't view the world in this emotional prism that you guys do. And I'm speaking to either women or pathetic, weak men that go along with feminism. Masculine heroes competing with each other built the world, built civilization, and it's in our genes to be better, to improve ourselves. This is the reason why we like watching stories and narratives unfold of a hero developing. Not these fake, corrupt, low-resolution, honestly demeaning notions of what it means to develop. You don't rise to the top of anything with feelings and oppression and victimhood Olympics. And that's what's missing here. Because ironically, these women don't deserve the position that they have. They were given it by diversity equity ideology, which is, of course, just Marxist ideology saying that we need to have equality of outcome. That's communism. And so they haven't earned their position. So, of course, the narratives that they're going to put forward are, this student of Ahsoka who hasn't held a lightsaber in, her entire lifetime is in 2 hours going to be more powerful than Luke Skywalker, who is or Anakin Skywalker, who took years to train. People that care about coherence find that to be insulting. Find it to be a joke. Find it to be like, oh gosh, another piece of propaganda. What, dude, why couldn't they make this story good? Why couldn't this be a good story? And then you have Reacher going to #1 because you have a masculine guy punching people. Like that's what you get because of people like this. You have any idea how easy it would be to make a blockbuster movie that would hit $1 billion in revenue? I think if you just had a masculine hero and feminine women, it would probably go to #1 for months. What I want people to understand is this isn't disgusting and repulsive because the narrative is distasteful. It's because the narrative is actually wrong. The narrative that they want to propagate doesn't fit with reality. It's a delusion. It is a delusion of their mind, a figment of their resentful fever dream of woke ideology.
Because you need to change your attitude.
You need to change. I'm a boss queen. I run the multi-billion-dollar company that I was given and didn't build. Oh, you like logic and rationality? You need to feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Oh, you're worried about the revenue? You think people won't watch? Mansplaining.
And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have difficult conversations that you will perhaps look at...
That's horrible. What you just said is reprehensible. They're looking for men to be weak. They want men to be afraid. They want men to cower in the face of this feminist doctrine and this feminist rhetoric, to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm an oppressor. I'm actually a force for evil. Oh wait, I support capitalism. Maybe I support white supremacy too. Oh my gosh, I'm balding because I'm soy. That's what they want from men. They want you to throw away the entire matrices of logic and rationality and making sense and coherence in order to abide in their ideology. And that should tell you everything you need to know about their ideology.
Look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection, and then say, maybe there is...
Wow, that's so perverse. You need to look in the mirror and not like what you see. You shouldn't like the fact that you are a man with opinions that revolve around logic and rationality and, you know, the hero archetype. You shouldn't want to better yourself. You should be like a woman. In fact, you should be more feminine. We need to feminize the world. Andrew Tate's toxic. I'm vaccinated.
There's something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way...
They're saying it out loud. There's something wrong with the way you think if you don't agree with a 90-pound woman flipping over a stormtrooper with one punch. There's something wrong with the way you think if you don't like a random blue-haired girl having more lightsaber experience than Luke Skywalker in 2 hours. There's something wrong with the way you think. No, you're using the wrong prism. You're using logic. You're using mental scrutiny and coherence. No, you should be engaging the way we think. No right and wrong. No better and worse. We're going to discriminate against you in the name of tolerance. We're going to say you're a bad person in the name of compassion. We're going to remove Trump from the ballot in the name of democracy. Slavery is freedom.
I am addressing this issue.
Oh my gosh, it's such an issue, these toxic men buying tickets to see movies that remind me that I'm a fucking failure with no children. It's so disgusting, so fucking disgusting. Subscribe to the channel, bro. This channel is doing God's work, it's doing men's work, it's doing Andrew Tate's work, it's doing Jordan Peterson's work, it's doing humanity's work right now. If you're too vaccinated to understand what's happening, what I'm saying, subscribe anyway, and maybe I'll like rescue you to the point where you like start to understand it, then your grandchildren might have a chance. And send this to any woke lunatics, by the way, that support this type of thing. I guarantee you, by the way, that any type of woke degenerate woman never watches any Star Wars anyway. They don't care about this. They just want to ruin our good time. They just want to ruin the stories that we love and enjoy. I have to go and rewatch old Star Wars movies in order to enjoy things. You have any idea how many times I've rewatched Revenge of the Sith just because Anakin Skywalker like had some dark characteristics and qualities to him? I literally can't watch any of the new remakes because you have Rey fighting Kylo Ren, who is a beta male to begin with, and he's incompetent, and there's no structure. It is literally a feminist nightmare. It is a feminist fever dream of anti-competence, anti-coherence, and it's demeaning to women because women actually aren't like this. Women actually want competent men. Women want strong partners who can lead and have gone through some hero journeys in order to build themselves up. Oh, but I'm vaccinated and Joe Biden's a good president. Oh.